Hello, this is Jerry Pavlik with Brady Industries. Here to talk to you today about how to properly maintain your lead acid batteries or wet batteries. A little bit of background on lead acid or wet batteries. These provide you with the most amount of runtime per charge. But lead acid batteries or wet batteries do require periodic maintenance. Here are a list of some supplies that you'll need. Distilled water only, a funnel, safety goggles, and protective gloves. Now there's 3 rules to remember about watering lead acid or wet batteries. You always water after a full charge cycle. You use distilled water only. And typically lead acid or wet batteries get checked every payday or every 2 weeks. Now you'll notice here, we talked about point number 1, water after a full charge. You notice how I have the machine plugged in here. One thing about lead acid batteries, when they're plugged into the wall outlet, they begin to boil inside the cells. What we want to have you avoid is watering the batteries and then plugging the machine in. What can happen there is something the industry refers to as boil over, which is something you do not want to have happen. So, watering your batteries. Unplug the machine from the outlet. Open up the tank. And underneath here you'll find a compartment. Now there are other lead acid batteries in this industry. Some have plates, some have a quick release. But the way to identify lead acid or wet batteries is simply by removing the cap. If these were sealed AGM batteries, I wouldn't be able to remove any caps. It is recommended to water 1 battery at a time. What you do not want to have happen is take all of these caps off, begin to water, and then you accidentally misplace or lose one of those. So, down here in your cells, you're going to notice you're watering. These are the areas where you water it. So what I do is, with my gloves, my goggles, I will take the funnel and simply pour the water into the cells. Now you do have to water every individual cell. Now one of the things that happens during this process, operators sometimes overfill the cells. It is important you do not try to remove excess water, because what happens is you also remove excess acid, which will lead to diminished run times. And we are not filling these cells all the way to the top. You're going to notice the lead acid plates down there, we're covering them by about 1/4 of an inch. And then when you're done, simply retighten each. This is important. You do not want to not retighten one properly, because during transportation and usage, the acid can move around inside the batteries and actually leave the battery itself and get on the machine and the floor as well. So make sure you check each of these that they're secure. Go ahead. And during watering, sometimes you can accidentally spill distilled water over top of the battery compartment, which is fine. You just want to make sure that you blot up the excessive water you may have accidentally spilled on top of the batteries.